Hi, I'm Jacob. This is the Prepper's Bunker Outdoors, and today is Tactical Tuesday. I'm going to talk to you today about why I respect James Yeager. Now, in my previous James Yeager and training videos, everybody wants to talk about the training. Everybody wants to talk about how likable James Yeager is or is not. And I'm not going to cover any of that today. Today I'm going to talk about one thing, and that is respect. There's not a lot of people who have earned my respect, and nobody gets my respect without earning it. The first time I went to Tactical Response, I'd never heard of James Yeager. I had no idea who James Yeager was. Not the slightest. And when I posted about going to Tactical Response on social media, everybody lost their mind and started talking about this James Yeager fella. So I decided to do some research. And the first thing that I found was James's 1911 Suck series. I happen to like the 1911 quite a bit. And so what I expected was the typical 1911 bashing, and yet that's not what I got. I got someone who had a position and gave valid points on that position. That's not why I respect James Yeager. That's why I kept searching. James Yeager runs his own tactical school. If you're watching this, you know that, Tactical Response. He has a nice house. He has a family. And he's making a good living. And when the opportunity came to nut up or shut up, unlike every single little troll on YouTube who sits around and talks crap and talks about how tough they are, which James could be categorized into that group of people if his actions did not support his words. But they do. Bundy Ranch pops up. James, on his own dime, heads out. Now, there are a lot of people who put their lives at risk for this country. You know, I served in Afghanistan in the Army as an airborne infantryman myself. But there's not a lot of people that will do it against the popular stigmas, to stand up for what's right. And most people as successful as James Yeager, you will never see lift a finger for anybody else, let alone put their skin on the line, especially on a topic as unpopular as a lot of the topics that James hits on. In fact, every time James has a video where everybody gets all pissy with him, it's because he reminds them why we have the Second Amendment, why we have the right to firearms, and this little game that the gun community is playing about concealed carry permits and self-defense is a load of crap. And it is the reason that we are losing our gun rights. Of course, they want to flip that around and say that we're losing our gun rights because people like James Yeager are too extreme. No, there's not enough people like James Yeager that are standing up for what's right, which is why we don't have the Second Amendment anymore. Newsflash, the Second Amendment is dead, and it's been dead for about a century. The second that the American people cannot be equally armed to a standing military, the Second Amendment is dead, and what we have left of the Second Amendment is dust in the coffin. Not only have our gun rights been neutered, but men's minds have been neutered. And those men who lack manhood in their mind don't like to be reminded of that. And that's why people hate James Yeager, and that's why I respect him. because he put his crap on the line to stand up for what he believes in. And I'll tell you what, I don't got money like James Yeager. I'm poor as dirt. I don't got kids. I love my wife. And if I'm going to put my life on the line for something, it's got to be something that I really believe in. And 90% of the queers on the internet who want to talk a big game won't do anything that puts even the smallest amount of risk on their heads, which is why all of these people that talk about punching James Yeager, about the next time they see him they're going to knock him out, about him being a coward. He's offered a challenge to anyone to a duel, and yet every time he's out around the gun community, nobody does anything. Why is that? Because they're a bunch of cowards and trolls. They want to talk the talk, but they don't want to walk the walk. Now, luckily, through my respect of James Yeager, I have received superior training to what you're going to get into the military, because people want to bring that up. And I have grown to like James Yeager. But it's not because of who he is. James Yeager, like anybody else, I don't care how much money he has. I don't care how many subscribers he has. I don't care what you think about him. I don't care what his friends think about him. I don't care about any of that. The bottom line is I have respect for James Yeager because even if I didn't like him, he put his money where his mouth is, and that's exactly what 99% of you will not do.